itu policy adanya di Departemen Pendidikan, bukan? Bagaimana
kalau dari sisi sekarang sudah ada banyak perubahan.
Apa perbaikannya
Ya,
cukup substansial?
Cukup begini Pak, higher education is responsibility of national government.
Okay.
High school is responsibility of the provincial government. Elementary school is responsibility of local government.
Termasuk pendanaannya.
Termasuk gajinya. Jadi di Jakarta itu gaji guru tinggi. If you're in Jakarta today, gaji guru is very good. In many places it's very good. Jadi it varies from one place to another.
But there are improvements in teacher salary.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign then.
Itu, tapi begini Pak, the problem is when it is an improvement, it doesn't make it to the news Pak. When it is problem, it made it to the news.
Ya, itu biasa kan media senang ya enggak.
Jadi, tapi efeknya begini, efeknya we feel like there is no improvement karena we don't hear it. Gitu. Padahal sebetulnya bukan tidak ada, it's just we don't hear it gitu.
Ya makanya itu sekarang kita mendengar, so we know sebetulnya ada.
Tapi apakah udah enough? I think there's a lot to be done. Makanya saya katakan di awal, if you need the list of problems, the list is very long.
Yeah. Well, George, is there any comment or your perspective about?
I have an interesting question actually. You mentioned and you compared a lot of the aspect from where we've come to from the time of 1945, and you want to always look at it from a positive note, which is the improvement, which is good. It's always the positive note, right? Look at the silver lining. But then you also stated that in 1945, there was no reason for the populace to be optimistic. I mean, everything was really good, right?
Yeah, they have enough reasons to be pessimistic.
Right, exactly. But yet they were optimists. So along the way, what happened? Why is it that they are pessimistic now and have lost the optimism, even though I, someone from outside, sees that, wait a minute, why is Indonesia not at least fourth in everything in the world?
Yes.
Right? I mean, I'm not, like sit there and they should be first, but they should be fourth, right? I'm a believer of Gaussian distribution, right? So we're the fourth most populated in the world. We should be fourth. One thing is, we're probably the world's largest consumer of rice. We should at least be the best in the production of rice. We may or may not, I'm not sure. Right? But along the way, you stated a good point. They were optimists then. But yet along the way, we became all very pessimistic. What happened? What along that way caused that? And if that barrier is still there, right, your thoughts of turning around the movement to be optimistic can still be a barrier.
There's no single factor that turn things around so fast. But I think there is a few that we can look at it closely. One is leadership matters. And what I mean by leadership matters is not about the strength of leadership, okay, but the trust on leadership. How do you trust your leaders? And I think we have experienced a deteriorations of degree of trust from the public in general to those who are elected in the office. In the past, when we talk about leadership, people who founded these nations, none of them were interested on materialistic benefit. None. All of them is altruistic. Semuanya, they founded these nations not to get rich, not to get a positions. They wanted these nations to be independent because everyone can be, that's the objective, prosperity, enlightened. Nah, and people see that, and people have trust. Therefore, when leaders send positive message, it resonates because they don't see their personal interest in that message. Makanya, when you criticize the idea, but not the interest behind the idea, because there is no interest there. Now, the second generations, third generations, and the new generations, some have benefited from the presence of this new republic. Some have moved up from have-nots to the haves, from knows-not to the knows, from the work-nots to the work. So they have gone these transformations. Along these transformations, not everyone is experiencing the change in the same pace. And it creates imbalances. And then that's where leadership is very important, to explain that this is a gradual process. There is no way we can convert. And not only that, we have grown very fast. We were only 70 million in 1945.
Right.
And today, we're 237, almost 38 million. 3,5 kali lipat ini melompat. Nah, jadi I think one of the key issue is trust. Trust is very important to create that positive tone. There's a simple formula for trust. Trust equal competency plus integrity plus intimacy minus self-interest. Okay? You have to be competent in order to be trusted. If you're not competent, you're not trusted. Okay? Number 2, you have to have integrity. With that integrity, I will trust you. That's a key component. Number 3 is intimacy. If you're not intimate, how can I trust you? There's no intimacy there. But this factor, the fourth, is the minus one. It has to be zero interest, or at least low. Jadi, if the self-interest is too high, it doesn't matter how good is your competence, how good is your integrity. It lowers everything. The trust score drop immediately. Now, this is where we are facing challenge di Indonesia sekarang. So when somebody propose an agenda, let's create this bridge. Okay, who's the donors for that campaign? Okay. Is this part of that? So, how can we send a positive message when that is being questioned? So we need to have a political system that allows people of integrity to emerge. And in the past, we had that. So Pak Anwar can tell stories about our leaders, and those leaders, when they said, let's build this dam, let's build that road, they have nothing to do with whoever is doing the business. Now, that's one factor. Number 2, that create this negative tone is also rapid growth of free press, free media that is not accompanied by sufficient supply of resources to manage it the way it should be managed. And that often creates problems. I'll give you an illustration. Our TV today is growing, but it's still very centralized.
What do you mean by that?
Because we all watch news coming from Jakarta.
Oh, okay.
Whether this is RCTI, Metro, SCTV, TV1, but it is coming from Jakarta. Okay. It is not TV1 in Jogja, TV1 in Semarang. They have their own news.
They don't.
Okay.
They don't.
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay. But it's very centralized. What does it mean? It means if there is a local news, say ada keluarga yang fight in the courts, okay, and then a cameraman was there recording that, and then you send it to Jakarta and made it to national news. It may be only 20 seconds, but it creates a feeling that, oh my God, in court, you fight. That court is very little court out of 500 districts in the country, made it to national news. So I give you an example. A few weeks ago, someone here was beaten up after watching Giant game.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mhm.
If you go to Boston, do you see the news in Boston? No. If you go to Milwaukee, maybe.
Yeah.
But that is local news in San Francisco area, right?
Yeah.
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 But that's local news,
Yes, that's local news.
Yeah.
right?
California.
Now imagine if there is no local news here, okay? And then all these contributors were competing for news. This is rather sensational, right? And made it out there. That create a feeling. Nah, itu punya jumlahnya banyak. Jumlahnya
Okay,
banyak.
okay.
Sehingga it create a feeling that, oh my God, there's so many problems in this republic.
Mm.
Well, everywhere is many problems. But the thing is, yang mana yang mau kita munculkan? That create, nah sementara almost 80 to 90%, those are the survey a few years ago, Indonesians gain news mostly from TV.
Oh, okay, okay.
Jadi mereka mendapatkan berita dari televisi, bukan dari
Newspaper.
newspaper. Nah, jadi TV itu membuat perasaan kita berubah. Dengan, nah ini sesuatu yang I think hari ini, sekarang kita mulai menyaksikan tumbuhnya televisi lokal.
Okay.
Local TV is
It's
growing.
growing.
Yeah, of
Local
course.
TV.
But again, it takes time, right? Begitu local TV growing, maka berita-berita begitu will make it to the local news.
Oh.
So when someone here claiming 21st of May is the doomsday, that's made it news here.
Yeah.
But anywhere else it's not. Imagine if that is there, and then everybody feel, oh my God, the entire Americans is that crazy? Kan?
Right.
Enggak gitu. Nah, that create negative feeling, and that's not easy to overcome. Tapi dengan itu, that's our maybe second reasons of having this more pessimistic tone, because suddenly you're seeing the dark side. Look in 1945, if Pak Anwar can report, man, look how many killings among communities took place.
Mhm.
The taking over
Right.
of this house, the taking over of that home, it's everywhere. But at that time, all of these isolated incidents, okay, the positive message is there karena tidak ada.
Yeah,
we're
because
having-
nggak ada, ya.
nggak ada. Jadi itu membuat we are not aware of the problems that is out there. Nah, sekarang with information that is transparent, we're able to exchange.
Right.
Tapi it requires personal people in the media to be able to still provide news, and news has to be attractive. Otherwise, it's not news.
Of course.
Yeah.
It has to be attractive. So that's the art, and that's not my department. Okay? That's the art, that's not my department. Tapi if that's, then you can actually munculkan sebuah berita yang powerful message-nya, tetapi tidak membuat orang merasa down. Hari ini kalau dicek survei sepintas saja, apakah pilkada rusuh?
Mhm, yeah.
Kebanyakan jawab rusuh. Is local elections
Yeah.
chaotic, violence?
Oh, that's the news is already.
Enggak,
okay.
tanya.
Oh, tanya.
If you
Oh,
ask
survey.
people,
Okay.
Survey.
If you ask people,
They say yes.
banyaknya kan bilang iya. Okay, then you start giving this list. Is Jakarta elections violence? No. West Java? No. Central Java? No. East Java? People would start thinking, well, yeah, there was a problem. Is there violence? No violence. They went to court.
Mhm.
Okay, after the court decided, what happened? They
Okay.
go home and accepted the decisions. Okay, that's normal everywhere. You know, when Al Gore and Bush were fighting, they go to court, and when the court decide, done. It takes time. Apa banyak yang mengajukan ke banyak? More than 120 districts, like local elections, were going to constitutional court,
Okay.
challenging the result.